Welcome back to Brews Tom's Tourney 2024, and we are bringing you your first Women's Division game of this live stream action. Wall-to-wall coverage. We're here all day, no matter what the conditions, and right now they are inclement. We have YAKA about to face off against Smog. So the French Noisy-le-Sec side against the Northern powerhouse. Used to playing in the mixed division, now entering some open and women's division teams. Smog and YAKA without any of their national team stars, looking to try and develop their clubs. But there's going to be plenty of talent out here on the field. Myself, Hannah Pendlebury, alongside Stefan Rapazzo. Steph, how are you feeling about this matchup?
I'm feeling very excited about this matchup. Happy to be back at Tom's. This weather is inclement, as mentioned. It is. I mean, speaking to Gigi Morrison on the field just then, she's like, yeah, it's cold or it's wet, but it's not that cold once you get a warm up in. It's not too cold. I'm not buying that based on my foot temperature, but we're not running around out there. The matchup, yeah, as you said, missing the national team players. France women are playing here at Tom's, so a lot of the familiar faces won't be there, but this team is much deeper than the 5 or 6 that they'll be missing that have gone over to the French women. So let's see if they maintain what should be their advantages. First pass goes to ground and early break chance, Hannah.
Indeed, not the optimal start, but this is great field position. Thinking to get in play, Knudsen, okay. High release, so that's going to sail well over the top. Solid defensive pressure. Both teams playing match to begin with.
Yeah, that one sails away. They've given it straight back. And Smog get to kind of reset their heads. They're now eased into the game by now. Only 2 pass. That's the third pass, though, with 2 turnovers.
Well, we saw lots of slippery discs get away from athletes in the first matchup. Hannah Randall's now, long-time player, came through the GB Juniors scene back in the day. But that one can be released astray. Okay. Looking for the upline cut to open up that opportunity for the reset round. YAKA looking relatively patient. Oh, just about escaping with that one. The first goal going the way of YAKA.
Chloé Olivier with the first goal. She is one of the French players living in Paris who's still one of a bunch. There's a handful, but she is a rep player, but she reps on the mixed team, of course. So she's still here with this great core. It's really like I'm trying to notice who some of these players are. Of course, you recognize the regular international Yakitas, but some of these young players I saw along at juniors for the French team that won everything at juniors in Padova last year. I'm really excited to see if they can gel. They've definitely got a good amount of leadership and up-and-coming youth there. And I feel like Chloé Olivier, she's kind of right in the middle of it all. She's still a youthful player, but has played rep at a bunch of big tournaments now, has some great big game experience behind her. She is a Frenchie with the experience, not one of the externals with the experience. So good to see her getting on the board as the first scorer for YAKA.
Oh, that one goes directly into the floor at the feet of Hannah Quinn. So half field opportunity, and Paula Bass picking up, doing what they do best, which is shooting absolute shots. One pass goal into the front corner.
Paula is a boss.
Yep.
Last name Bass, but we know it means boss is the reality of it. Big bomb. Castillo on the other end. I mean, those two could really play that 2-player game between each other in either direction. Could be Castillo shooting to Bass, could be Bass shooting to Castillo. I'm always curious, and we'll keep an eye on it with YAKA and their line calling, the French in particular, but YAKA most certainly like to roll their balanced lines, no O-line, D-line, just XY, if you will, where they try and balance the skill level on each, where it's a line that can do everything. If it's O, they play O. If it's D, they play D. If it's zone, whatever's asked of the situation, they have faith in just balancing the lines out and rolling them back and forth.
It's a great strategy, to be honest. It's obviously when you really get to the upper echelons of Ultimate, of the kind of, your world championship teams, having reliability on a set of 7 athletes that you can really just say, yep, these people, they're going to go out and they're going to almost guarantee us a goal. But another sort of mis-execution, undercooked throw, and an opportunity here. Caroline Tisson now, another of the star handlers for YAKA. Back to Kiet. Olivier now. Oh, that's a little bit low for Delaunay, but all fine. Now just squeezing this line. Oh, that might be a bit askew, but what a pickup! My goodness gracious! Wow, YAKA coming out, all guns blazing.
That indeed was a pickup. I'm still trying to spot the number. I think that's number 17, De Bregas. And Meunier left the pass out with, maybe left her hand and said, "Ooh, I should have maybe put a little more air under that." But if you get a play made like that, a slide into the end zone corner, you don't feel so bad about the throw being slightly imperfect.
It just made the receiver look cool.
Exactly. I mean, what we say every now and again, Hannah, every great catch comes on the heels of a mediocre throw. But if you got to lay your body on the line, that means that the throw was maybe not exactly where it needed to be. A good throw, all said. It did get to the right spot. It did give the receiver a chance and made a play of it. So, time out on the field, Hannah.
Yeah, being called by Smog. We'll take a very brief break, but we don't go anywhere, folks. So YAKA storming a lead here early doors in our first women's division game here at Tom's Tourney 2023. Got some big talent coming out for Smog in this one.
Yeah, Smog got to just, I hope that timeout does them a little bit of good, but they've got to get that offense cooking. Just get one string going and maybe that'll do it.
Well, the irony is, of course, this is very British weather, as you see Murray. Lash one deep. Been playing mixed with Sheffield this season, and that one is going to work out. Just figuring out which camera view he had. A goal off of the huck of the hands of Lara Murray, connecting with Samantha Chu.
Yeah, Samantha Chu did a great job. The deep pass was getting a little bit of a battering by the wind. The further it went, it had a little wobble in there as she got going. Good throw against the elements and a good chunk of yardage eaten up with the throw. But the play on the other end to hit the ground in the slide, a little bit Bruce Springsteen-esque, going to the knees with the guitar in hands there, but nice knee slide, nice pickup. And that's, maybe that's, there it is again. Oh, for a second, to go to ground, but that's what they needed to get on the board here, to get that offense cooking. Not only a hold, but a clean hold after giving up 3 breaks is very, very helpful indeed. Just battening down the hatches here. Hannah Pendlebury, a axe of a knot tire. Yesterday, her skills came into great use, and
we'll do a tour on the Instagrams a little bit later for you of the setup we have here. But that is a lovely setup up the line. Grossman trying to make the flying bid through. A little bit of tasty poaching from some of the Smog defenders, but nothing to stop this. And Bacandiasson sitting in that central pocket. Oh, that's a lovely low release shot across, and again it's a layout required. Chloé Olivier reeling that one in. And these YAKA players not afraid to get a bit of slip and slide.
No. Chloe Owe again laying the body on the line. Meba Condition. We saw her at juniors last year, and she was, a big contributing part of a team that was so dominant. But again, one of the upper echelon O-line contributors there, stepping into a big role here on YAKA. Okay, they're missing some players. It gives her a great opportunity to showcase what she's got. This is what their coaches and senior players are going to be looking for, how these juniors can step in and what they can do. And okay, she made Chloe lay out, but she threw it to a place undefendable, and obviously knows her receiver well enough, backed her just enough, and knows that you put it out in front of Chloe Owe, and she's going to put the cape on and go for a little bit of airtime there, start flying.
Absolutely. Well, it's what you have to do, especially when the conditions are like this. You're more likely to slip and injure yourself. Go for the bid. Go for some flying lessons. Have a crack at it. But an out-of-bounds pull is going to give enviable field position for Smog. Casey Bottomley fielding the pull. Nice early movements from the underneath. Murray, the assister of the first goal. This time it's a big arcing flick that's going to sail well over Quinn. Arcing backhand even, sorry. Castillo getting us underway underneath. Looks for Bus. There is a big swing available. Oh, a little bit of airtime underneath it though. Just pops up. Not quite the best read. Plays from Scott now, looking for an opportunity into the chest of Murray. Quinn now, hot off the back of a gold medal indoors, but doesn't quite connect with Anderson. But there is a misconnection for YAKA as well. A little bit more of a grinder, this one.
Yep, back and forth, a couple exchange turns. So a couple of just missed throws have caused these turns. Let's see if the throwing side settles here on the next attempt to hold.
Oh, the outstretched palms of Murray trying to avoid the collateral with the clearing Anderson. It's a big force to get around. Bus going for up that line. Nice. Didn't quite have the connection downfield for a power position. Harkin powers that one way too far. Mrs. Lucy not by a decent margin.
They did catch up there, but I thought the stack was very, very deep to start that point.
Bottomley into place from Scott. Oh, it's a flobbly wobbly flick to try and hit that end zone. Nice cut downfield. I like the option from Ritu.
Yeah, it was the right option. Just conditions, whatever it was, mechanics off a little bit, but didn't come out of the hand right. But that was the throw to shoot for, or the cut to shoot for.
The conditions preventing the sufficient grip to execute that flick, Huck. Even 2 gloves won't save you in these current slippery conditions. Oh, but that's a really nice defensive effort from Quinn, batting the disc away from Castillo. On a short field now for Smog. Morrison to pick up. Oh, what a great catch from Hannah Quinn, turning all the way around. Murray. Really trying to isolate that inside forehand shot, but just sails it up, puts up into the end zone corner, and it looks like Plassum Scott underneath it.
Yeah, great finish there. I think it was Quinn, as you said, with the sticky fingers. Was that right? Off the Gigi Morrison pass that was just a little bit behind. Really saved the day on that point. And then the finish. What touch on that outside in. Finally found a nice corner. Finally found an easy way in to score there. That's just what Smog needed to keep hopes high and to keep swinging in this one.
Well, that's 2 goals off the hand of Lara Murray, who definitely played the earlier mixed tours doing exactly that. Picking some absolute dimes up for Sheffield Steel.
And now doing it here for Smog, the Northerners.
Indeed.
It's not just one city in the north. I think I've been corrected on this a few times. What is it, Hannah?
So some players from Manchester, some Newcastleites, some Durhamites. Essentially, Smog was a mixed iteration that was trying to just develop players who were strong in the north, as the saying goes.
So you said Newcastleites. I thought that they had a specific name for those. Are they not
do.
Novocastrians?
Novocastrians. They're Geordies, my love. Geordies.
Geordie. Oh, is that Geordie Shore?
That is indeed where Geordie Shore comes from.
Oh, my goodness. Let's not talk about that again then.
It's a lovely place, though, is Newcastle. Fantastic city. Highly recommend it. And there's a tournament that happens over New Year's there as well. If you struggle to know what to do with your New Year's Eve. Remember, YAKA shooting up line, but that one's going to get away from Munier. So an opportunity for Smog to try and grind back this lead that YAKA have. Currently 4-2. Williams into the centre pocket, but it all goes a bit wrong. Emily McCabe sort of turning behind her. Nice bid from Mabakon Nada Tisson. Oh, that's a lovely front corner cut. Leaves the defence for dust, and a goal eventually looks like La Rivière. No. La Rivière.
La Rivière, the
There we
river,
go.
Camille. Now, Tisson, Caroline Tisson. I say it with a French accent, but she's a German player, of course. But nice, calm, steady delivery from the far sideline there. Almost a no pivot backhand. It was just made to be very, very easy. Here's another look. Now she does she gives the early pivot, leans into it, but just very assuredly waits for the space that was open in that corner to be filled by a red shirt, and puts the delivery safely in front. And I think we've got ourselves another timeout. Am I mistaken? No, they're on the line. They're just having a good old chat.
But we will update because it is 5-2, the current score. YAKA with those early breaks.
There they go.
Absolutely. But yeah, it's lovely to see as well. Caroline Tisson, we'll keep saying her name in the French variety. But of course, one of the organisers of Play Coach Grow, a women's division movement to try and increase the numbers of female matching athletes, and also increase the just general vibes, community, and understanding and learning as they develop.
All that stuff, incredible, and much more important, but also they have super cool stickers that I've got on my drink bottle.
Very cool stickers. And badges.
Yeah.
And discs. It's a whole thing. So zone from YAKA. Morrison puncturing through. Ritu having to wait a little bit for Murray to catch up, but finds it. Oh, that one going to go astray, though. Not sure who that was supposed to be for. Play some Scott or for Ritu. But Richard fires that one too high. A lot of these, what would be workaday easy passes in other conditions, are becoming a little bit difficult to execute. Just the disc not quite sitting in the wet hands as assuredly as normal. Lots of negative yards there on Murray, making life a little bit more difficult than needs be. And that one just flobbling out. Short field, Richard picking up. Inside break shot. Oh, doesn't quite make it. I think that might have been tipped by the defense.
Yeah, maybe just out of my line of sight. But here's another look. Oh, yeah, definitely tipped. Great bid in front.
Murray. Over to Plassum Scott. Oh, hot attack from the defence. Nearly gets there. Bit of a hospital pass, but that's well held. Bus decided not to come in and try and bash Chu, but that one does get bashed down. I think a little bit of a tip on the disc. Bus just taking the moment to dry things off. Very sensible, and sinks one to the soft side of the pitch. Oh, nearly! That was a really lovely idea, but the pressure applied by the defender overwhelms.
Yeah, I think Soline Baron did a good job in the end zone boxing out, made sure that the defender, who was slightly taller, was not going to get there, but then just overboxed out a little bit too much, and the top of her own jump couldn't get the fingertips to it.
Murray sailing one through. It's the same spot. Oh, and Shu, what a fantastic body. Just popping through at the last minute. Oh, that could work. No, just a little bit too high. Great effort, but Ritu has to retreat.
Yeah, good look again there, close enough. But I like what Smog's doing with their offense in the last 2-3 points here. They're taking the right options. They're kind of getting a little bit more going and a bit more hope to it.
A little bit of a higher stall count, but again, Boss just puncturing through like a little spear, taking that upline drive. Now around the back. Doesn't really look for the continuation of that lateral flow. Oh, that one might be a bit too much. Oh, what a great grab from Paula Bus. Castillo now. Thought about it, set it up, might have to redeem, doesn't quite get there. Bus not looking for a second slip and slide dirt collection. Their jersey already pretty well soiled. Literally with soil. But a slow walk from Natasha Lim to allow everything to set up. Pleasant Scott with a little shrug move coming underneath. Has Chu there. Oh, this time doesn't quite make that big grab. Having been so dependable in the earlier stages of this point. So once again. Oh, that just bobbles. Soline Baron unable to hold on the far side.
Yeah, in and out of both hands there. That's a testament to the weather that is just messing with the focus and concentration. Just a bit out there, isn't it?
That one's going to sail over the pack. Murray has a good look at it, but Richon just bops it away.
Yeah, really, just one little touch and turned it over. The wind did the rest of the job.
And the wind really is starting to rise. We're being splattered by our own tent. Lim. The wind behind Smog, but you can see the problems it causes. Bus. This time it's a much softer pass to Baron. Love the casual snag from Bas. That's going to be beautifully executed. The way it almost hovered against the breeze. The wrist snap generated by Bas. Oh. That one a little bit hovering in a bad way. Swiping through comes Retu. Now Murray does have a potential receiver developing. Morrison's the one that's going to launch it towards that end zone. Oh, just about! And the puddle afterwards. Ellen Johnson getting some wet socks for her money.
Yeah, in for the soccer goal, the football goal, and the splash there. Looked good for the finish. The only thing that might have looked better if you're wearing a Smog shirt or cheering for Smog is the layout for the goal in that back corner, but just a bit beyond for even the attempt. As you can see there, a good looking, another great look. When they're missing by that much in this weather, again, after the start where they had, I think, 3 turnovers in their first 5 passes, they're starting to get it together now. It is, YAKA still looks the goods out here, but Smog are just sharpening up bit by bit.
Oh, that one flies away from Richard. Murray now on the goal line, more or less. Lim. Back to Murray. Lots of cuts in the near space. Oh, that's a beautiful layout. Doesn't quite get it though. Two targets going for the same space. I think there's perhaps a little bit of confusion for the thrower.
Love that bid. I didn't mind the throw either. Just kind of throw to the break side. Here goes Boss again.
Well, you've got Castillo heading towards the deep space, so Joe Cole, why not?
Oh, the read was just a bit off at first. I think Castillo tried to catch up and shows her athleticism off there, even in a miss. But one heck of a bid by Castillo. She's got transforming the color of her red shirt already.
Yeah. It's a real slip and slide out there. Murray. Looking for options. Player sort of trotting in, and that one just about enough from the defender. I think half a heartbeat later and Lim probably would have been calling a strip. Bass picking up. Sends that big backhand. Breaks low, throws it high, but it's snaffled up by the defense.
Turning into a very long point right now out there.
Oh, it really is. Lara Murray trying to end it, though. Has the receiver going deep, but that one's going to be too big. Sometimes it's more difficult even to score downfield, downwind.
And I think that, you know, sometimes the huck is great for territory, for field position, but that one may have never been in, Hannah, which means it will come in where the throw was, where it went out. So that huck is going to be a turnover and not really generate safe defensive field position for Smog. So YAKA will play it from the midfield, or perhaps not. They're not walking it up yet.
They will be. There's plenty of folks on the sideline to guide them to where they need to bring it in.
There has been a correction. Maybe it went out beyond the back.
Well, let's have a little look quick. Oh, no, it does. It does just about crosses
that
the
back
line.
cone. And now Smog, after a YAKA turnover, will get a possession start in the attacking half.
Can they make anything of it? Lim to pick up. Trying to isolate Murray. Looks for the reset. Plasm Scott is there. Little dish for Murray. Oh, great grab. Takes it on the hips. Fires it to Lim. Goes for the scoop fake. Throws the inside. Pick's going to bring us a moment of pause. Ellen Johnson might have to come back. So disc back with Natasha Lim. Gonna have to get a reset coming through. Oh, and there is a missed opportunity again. It's Johnson, but this time it's not a connection. Bass now looking to huck themselves out of jail, perhaps. No, at the end, just emerging through at the last moment. It's plenty. This one's going to be big, though. Oh, someone left all alone. It's Rodriguez in the backspace. And Castillo with a little pop jump calls the travel by the defenders.
I thought it was legit. I thought she was in. Heck of a bomb by Castillo. Her backhands are always so exciting to watch, but she's going to tap it in on the line.
Well, a score so nice. Can they do it twice? Bass is going to be there with a big old poach initially, but it's the backhand that's exploited on the break side, and another goal on the board for YAKA ends that rather long grindy point. 6-2.
Yeah, they're going to be happy to rotate the lines if nothing else. Certainly to put the point on the board makes rotating lines easier. Big grinder for Smog there to get through that one and have to succumb in the end. But in the end, and this is, you know, the longer these points go, some of your game plan, not some, a lot of your game plan will go out the door, especially if your game plan is possession and fast movement. Okay, when people get tired and you've got a couple weapons, particularly Bas Castillo, that can jacket, a good length of the field, 2/3 of the field or better, that is a big get out of jail card for YAKA to be able to play. And it came in handy quite there and worked out. Castillo ground up the yards with the big shot to Rodriguez, the Spaniard, who's been playing with YAKA for a few years now as well. She represents on the Spanish national team on the beach. I'm not sure if I remember if it was women's or mixed, but was out there in Huntington Beach. And is now out here in wonderful Bruges.
Well, the pincers of the zone trying to stop that pass from getting through. Williams pops back. Oh, that one, I think, just about connected with the hand of Garnier. Oh, but that one's going to be a little bit askew. Tips off the fingers of Kier.
I think Kier and Olivier did each other there unknowingly, both trying to get up and just get it. But had they been able to put their eyes down and see the red jersey just a second earlier, maybe one would have left it for the other.
The little head tilt there coming out of Kim Marsh. Trying to get active, but the handlers just not really seeing each other. McCabe now. Who does fantastic needlework in her non-Frisbee time. Is Emily McCabe. Williams thinking about the lick through to Amy Constantine.
Christina, can you guys tell them
Marsh. That one's going to sit and hang. Oh, fantastic footwork on the far side. But it's going to be called out of bounds. Just not quite enough from McCabe. But we love a reach and catch.
Don't we ever?
Something you see a lot more indoors. That one's going to be squeaked down the sideline to Olivier. Now back to Garnier. Kier. Nice bit of give-go action to move the disc laterally. Olivier with a nice, quiet high grab. Oh, and the pop through for an easy goal. Garnier shook off her defender at some point in the proceedings and collects the next goal. So 7-2 now. YAKA 1 point away from taking half.
Garnier is really stepping it up. Every touch she gets, I'm quite impressed with her deliveries. Particularly, she's a great distributor. But beyond that, her athleticism is showing. She can be a target, can be a receiver. Really good sharp cuts in small spaces. I think YAKA's done very well to make sure they've got that recruit in a red jersey playing for La Maison Rouge out in Noisy-le-Sec.
Yeah, there's been some slight shade thrown by some people on YAKA's approach of, becoming the sort of super club powerhouse by taking on the Yaquitos from as far afield as the USA. They had a couple but we love to see the connections, and actually there's nothing wrong with developing players within your own communities and your own nation that come from a little bit further afield, and using the international talent to do that. They are a proper club. They do make sure that people come to trainings. It's not just super happy fun pickups who just come for tournaments and don't do anything else.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's really great. I think it's one of the greatest recruiting tools to get the locals is the fact that if I play for this team, I might be able to play with a Robin Fenning. I might be able to play with, a Castillo, these super players, these all-stars that are quite committed to YAKA. Okay, yeah, they are not living in Paris, a handful of them, in Noisy-le-Sec. But they're coming 3-4 times a year for training camps. They're at every tournament with them. They are bleeding for the Maison Rouge.
And they do really bring so much joy and energy, and it just speaks to the leadership as well of the YAKA club. But a missed one for Quinn, puts everything she can into the force and causes the stall-out turnover. Surely must have been released on about 9.5.
All said, wonderful to see this version of YAKA. I've never seen YAKA played, no Rasta, no Nanu, I don't think ever.
Well, again, Hannah Quinn, the intended target, but Smog not connecting. Lovely ideas. And it does get some good yards.
This one, yes. Pin YAKA on their own goal line. Let's see if they can get a defensive effort here. For YAKA will continue to grind their way upfield.
Well, short field is gained, but a huck and D for Smog, perhaps. But Sophie Baron unable to hold on. So a pick up for Lim. Oh, and it's a fiery shot, but it can't be held onto by Gigi Morrison. Again, this rain continuing to just beat down here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not torrential, but it's just non-stop. It has not let up since we've got up.
It really hasn't, and you can already see the slight change in colour of the pitch, but that's a lovely snatch from Lucinan.
Yeah, I think foul called there and accepted. Yes, I think I saw John Dock say in the comments earlier, there's no way this field's going to make it till Sunday. And, well, I hope he's wrong, but he may be onto something.
Well, we have seen, and my mind goes back to 2021, the first XEUCF out of the pandemic, which was hosted at this very venue in Bruges. We were delighted to be here. Fun facts. So Tom's Tourney, of course, has great vibes, great party, lots of Brugsot. So we see that one not connect with Tiffany Anderson. Clearly needs to get her Sportzot on, which is the name of the 0% version of the local beer here.
It's funny, I've never heard of that one.
Oh, the Sportzot. Had lots of them last season. They were great. Morrison putting a little bit of pressure on underneath, just enough. But there's going to be a foul discussion elsewhere. Don't think that was the thrower?
No, I think Castillo was the first to show the hand, turnover hand signal, like, no, I turned that over. Good to see that. I like when players can come to terms with their mistakes and let the game go on.
So, good start off. Oh, a scoop backhand release. That could work, you know, and it does. Blossom Scott with the hands on the end of it. And that is 3 for 3 on assists for Lara Murray.
Yeah, Lara Murray's throws have been steadily improving over the course of this game, and that was by far the best one. That was near perfection. I'm looking forward to seeing this again, waiting for the wind-up, and there it is. Such great follow-through, everything. Mechanically speaking, that throw was fantastic. And the flight path was the reward. Straight into the hand, over the defense. Great shape to it. There's a lot that set up, a lot that went on in that play before that, but that was by far the most important piece of mechanics for that point. Well done to Ava Grossman, is it? Yes, indeed it is.
No, Laura.
Yeah, sorry,
Laura Murray.
I got my 9s and 6s turned, and you just said Murray.
I have the advantage of Smogger from my home nation, so I get to see them quite a lot. Lara Murray is a very fun player to play against, but that is Ava Grossman right there on your screen.
I knew that was going to happen.
Readying for the pull.
That's why I got confused. I saw her ready to pull. No, it's not true. I had showing dyslexia looking at my rosters or something.
Well, Lara Murray is one of the sort of slightly younger faces on Smog. Grossman's been with them for, I think, almost their entire existence. Of course, many of the female matching athletes on Smog used to play for a little-known team called Relentless.
Well, you would know about them?
I might do. But Tisson getting things in play on the far side. Marked up by Kim Marsh. That one beautifully put directly into the hands of the receiver. Oh, but that one's going to be scooped up by Grossman. Just a little unnecessary ground tap. We love to see it. Seeking opportunity. Oh, risky Callahan County and scooped at the last minute. Great recovery and legs. I think that was Lim. I think I saw a 26, but Grossman now to Marsh. Just hits that down the line to Grossman. Oh, that's going to require the catch up, but out of bounds with the footwork. Not quite there.
Yeah, body got twisted up there. Would have been nice. A toe drag, but I think the sighting of the disc was just a bit too late, and yeah, turning the lower half of the body, turning the hips back in to get the toe drag was just not on.
Yeah, Randall's not quite realising that one was coming, I think, until that moment too late. Meunier, though, has Tisson grinding around, but Marsh recollects. It's a really lovely close to the disc defence from Smog. Big communication from the sideline, trying to create that extra level of awareness. Olivier now pumps through. Lefebvre, and that one's going to sail well away. The wind sort of dropped there, but I think if that has been a truly downwind throw, that would have almost ended up in the bushes.
Yeah, it had enough shape to just float up a little bit, but a bit too much on it. La Rivière, maybe that's a case of end zone eyes there. There was a nice cut, but they were doing a good job of bouncing it back and forth between the handlers up until that point. Meunier, as you said, had a very tough mark on her. That got to about a stall 7 or 8, maybe even beyond. It's a Smog defense, credit there, but yeah, a little early trigger on that one.
Randall's trying to connect the eyes with somebody. Not quite the right read on the back end of it, but a good high stall count release of energy to try and get things flowing. So half field Tisson to get us going. Lovely cut from Olivier, just setting off from quite deep in the field. A little bit of extra feet happening on that far sideline, but all fair. That one too low though, bounces off. You can see it hit the turf before it even gets to Olivier. Smog looking to spread the field. Love that aggressive step around the mark and a big old slide on the back for La Rivière. Randalls. Has Marsh poached. Oh, the bid's there, but a little bit of a skew-if release from Randalls despite the poach off. Tisson now releases over the top of Randalls' poach. And that one goes nowhere. Yeah,
Tisson threw that one over top of a poaching mark. A quick look to the left had Olivier wide open in the dump space. A little bit of the fatigue at this point showing in that particular decision, but nothing they can't recover from, and not negligent of a throw, but some of the conservative choices are being overlooked.
We are seeing some quite long and drawn-out points between these two teams, which is a credit to Smog, despite the impressive score deficit at the moment. And we are 3/4 of the way into the game. So we would have hit the timed half much earlier. Oh, Grossman trying to layer on the pressure on Tisson, but she stands firm as always. Oh, nearly the push pass from Olivier. A little bit of a bailout of cut, good recovery. Now considering the options, goes for the break side forehand. Oh, and milks every little moment. A field full of shorts action in terms of the amount of dirt on the back of Camille Larivière.
Yeah, we saw that one. She had it started as a Bruce Springsteen slide on the knees that turned into just a full body twister about 5 minutes ago in the same point. And now we can't see her number because of it. But we know who she is now because of the pink hat.
But they're just returning
Back
to Olivier.
Yeah.
So perhaps a pick call.
Olivier, this is her first year with YAKA full time. She has been on and off, and then full time, but she won't be there for EUCF because she's going to stay in Australia after Worlds. But she's committed to the club now. She's living in Paris now. It is Chloé Oué is all in on YAKA.
Tissot just playing a little game of catch for two. Now they get someone else involved. Looks like Delaunay. Oh, big pressure, but it's the same goal scorer as the previous attempt. Another one in for La Rivière. And that's 8-3 now for YAKA. Just quite happily in control of this matchup.
Yeah, they are. As much as Smog, we mentioned in the middle portion of the game, have got the offense going a bit smoother, a bit better. They're still playing from behind. YAKA is staying quite dominant here. That is officially halftime now.
Well, I think we had the timed half before, but because we should have had the half.
We should have, but I just saw Paula Bass send the Frisbee the other way as though to get the pull reception.
Well.
So
maybe we're a little bit delayed in our halftime, but we're having it. It's an unusual feature at Tom's Tourney. We don't normally have it, but of course this is an EUF approved tournament. So some of the teams here are using this as part of their points mean prizes matchups in order to gain themselves a spot at EUCF later on this season. So we're now in the era of the almighty algorithm.
Ravi, the human abacus Vasudevan.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
That said, neither of these two teams have selected this tournament as a qualifying tournament.
Which
so
makes
even
sense.
if one had, Hannah, it doesn't matter. It needs to be both teams playing against each other that have both selected to be counting this tournament as a qualifying tournament. But our very next game will see that happening with Outsitters. Maybe I'm wrong. No, they're Outsitters. Yeah, Outsitters have nominated, and as have Jet Set. So stay tuned for that.
So a pull that will bounce and roll around deep into the pitch. Great opportunity here for Smog to put together some pressure. Just nice lateral movement from YAKA, but not really gaining too many yards against this zone look from Smog.
Can I make a prediction, Hannah?
Yep.
Either Castillo or Paula are going to huck it at some stage in the next 6 throws.
All right, so from now, we'll go from now. That's one throw. That's
they're not going to get a chance.
No chance. Denial defense. That was a good zone. And a short field for Smog, and there goes the break in fast fashion. Well, they're going to need plenty more like that if they're going to bring themselves back into the standings in this game. 10 minutes and change left. As the previous, you can spot them actually on the far sideline. There's some very cold former Smog teammates who are playing in the Open Division. Just they've got the vibes going for how chilly it is, but that will put a little bit of fuel for the fire for Smog.
Yeah, first break of the game. Nice to put one back. As you said, they're going to need a whole lot more where that came from. But very nice to start off the second half. Late game second half to start the second half. And pop one in the other way. Of course, your breaks are. For the jargon, to keep everybody up to date, a hold versus a break, the most simplistic of terms that we talk about, but a hold is if you receive the disc from the starting throw, which is called the pull, and you end up scoring, that's a hold. If you throw the opening throw, which is the pull, and you get the disc back and score, you have broken the other team. You get a break point. And that is exactly what Smog has just done there to put themselves to 1/2 the score, 8-4. YAKA still very much in command of this game as that pull rolls out.
Yeah, I think we've got a little bit more depth on YAKA in terms of just the big game experience, but it's the first season that Smog are playing internationally as a women's outfit, so it'd be lovely to see how they develop over the course of the season. Delaunay into Mabécondiasson. To Kier. Has Lenarcier in acres of room, but chooses the negative yards, rather strangely.
Almost as though she didn't want to switch to her forehand grip there for a second.
Yeah, but they do have them. That one requires a little bit of bounce down from Khozat, but again, the block from the jaws of the zone. Heather Williams to pick up. Long-time Manchester Ultimate player. Absolutely launches it towards Kim Marsh. There's a bubble, though I think Kier was wise to it.
Yeah, macked away.
Olivier trying to stretch the space. Has Grossman on the shoulder, it looks like. Big clap from the sideline. That one's going to just about miss the mark, I think.
Oh, Mabécondiasson made an incredible bid there. Throw just a bit too far in front. I want to go back to Olivier's box out there. She almost stopped in the middle of the field chasing that one down. Made sure her back was on the defender and then charged the disc when it was within jumping range. That is how you track down a floaty disc like this, as you're going to see one more time. Look at, she stops, she spins around, puts the left hand up to find out where the defender is, and then steps into it. Unfortunate they couldn't capitalize there.
So pinned on their own defending end zone line. McCabe trying to stretch it deep, but sort of flobbles towards that far side and will be picked up by Delaunay. Just an easy one-pass goal. Can it be? No. It bobbles out of the hands.
And nothing going right on this point for either side as far as putting the finishing touches in for YAKA and as far as getting out of this trouble zone for Smog. They're both exchanging turns. How many more will they give one another? But YAKA, that's 2 throws into the end zone that they've had a hand to. Yes, both have been difficult. One towing the line, one getting totally horizontal. And Smog got to beat this YAKA zone with the end zone at their backs.
Just going for the casual dish reset. And then it's puncturing through. Grossman having a move and hustle back off the travel over to Williams. Now McCabe. That one making it through, a little bit spicy now, high for Grossman. Originally hailing from North America, but that one just goes south to the ground. Kier just sauntering over to it. Not in a rush. Just under 6 minutes of regulation time remaining. That's going to require second effort, but it's not there.
Yeah, you see the little hop to the toes there in dismay. But nothing can be done. It's back in the hands of Smog.
Constantine. Through to Williams. There's the jingle for 5 minutes remaining. Can there be a second effort on that one? Big effort from Kier. Doesn't look to be anything called. Limerick Jim now looking for the next option. Takes the negative space for Tisson, but that one's going to slip and slide and away from Le Mercier.
Yeah.
Who now has a very dirty back to match La Rivière. Dish through to Randalls. Now to Grossman. Smog choosing to have lots of handlers very close together in the back set. Oh, that's a spicy option. Marsh goes for the bid, but it doesn't work out. Interesting choice of the blade in these conditions, and that one's going to be picture perfect. But the layout means it falls out of the hands.
Ground strip, I guess. I had turned to the screen assuming that was a goal. I saw it, but it was definitely in both hands for a split second. But something on landing there must have popped it out, and Smog will go again. That's a third touch. Oh, no. Yes, it is. Third touch YAKA's had in the end zone in this point.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit of just focus dropping, but that one was a drop indeed. Sissel. Mabagondierson with no such mark, able to throw whatever she likes on that left hip side of the runner into the end zone, and that will end the point. 9-4 now the lead for YAKA over Smog.
Cruzat, the reception there, the goal for YAKA. Another one of their young integrated players here at Tom's. The wind not slowing down. I'll mention that because our the tent is pushing my left shoulder like a bully asking for lunch money right now. Like, it is unrelenting, Hannah.
But we have a tent, Stefan.
Yes, we have a tent.
That's the big deal, I think, for us here in the booth, alongside you folks watching our coverage at home. And we're delighted to have you with us. It looks like there's going to be a brief timeout being taken, though, so we'll come right back.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our work
work.
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the ultimate world and beyond.
Out of bounds, Paul. YAKA currently leading over Smog 9-4. 5-point margin for the former Women's Division European champion. Of course, this is Smog's first outing for an international series as a women's team. That one's going to fail to collect, though, for Lim. Oh, and Bass immediately responding. Perfect throw, absolutely gorgeous into Richon.
Yeah, just stepped right into it from the defensive intercept there. Didn't give up any of the momentum that they worked in the catch. Went right into the throwing mechanic. There's another look. Richon gets under that perler of a forehand from Paula Bass. And that's the first quick striking score we've seen in a little while now. There's been a few heavily extended points, but YAKA this time let Paula cook, and the cooking starts with that forehand. 9-4 now. A nice lead. We know that we've heard the 5-minute warning, so can't be more than 2 minutes away, I'd say, from...
We've got about 30 seconds left on the informal game clock.
There's the clock.
It's there. It's a count up clock these days rather than a countdown.
I support it. but let's not get into that one.
Well, the sounds of Fleetwood Mac are now playing over the tannoy system. Hopefully.
They are?
They are indeed. So we've just had the klaxon. Time is now officially expired.
What a great song this is. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
Indeed. You said you weren't going to sing it over the air, Steph,
Yeah.
but I think we
I
all
can't
knew that
help
was a lie.
myself. I
We
can't help
all knew it was
myself.
going to happen. Right, so Kim Marsh popping back to Hannah Randalls. Oh, that one snaffled away. Emma Delaunay with a catch block. We love to see it. Now Meunier. So this to put the final point on the board before we put the cap in place. Of course, the cap referring to the rules that we'll discuss. The +1 to the highest score when time is finished. But you finish the point when the cup time expires. La Rivière looking for an option. As Olivier, but that one almost thrown directly at the calves of Amy Constantine. Randalls, Liverpudlian, pops to Marsh. Marsh, such a big fan of that little cheeky head tilt that I would like you to go that way, please.
Good communicator.
Clearly, a neck warm-up is a big part of her her pre-game ritual, or at least it should be. Constantine now looking for options. High release over the jaws of the zone, but that one nearly connecting, but just shy of hitting Grace Sissel.
Yeah, just shy, and of course the footsteps as well. Olivier was in the area, making it just that much more speculative.
A big congestion. Now that one just slips out of the hands as the knee hits the ground. So Brits once more trying to find their way around this YAKA zone. Clenso looking for the dish and go. Smog's handlers sitting and waiting a great deal, but that one just bobbles off the hands of Constantine. Oh, the inside break shot. Absolutely gorgeous. Emma Delaunay collecting in the front of the end zone, and that will make it 11-4 to YAKA, game to 12.
Game to 12, a good moment to recognize Emma Delaunay's cornrows she's sporting. Those are tightly woven in, and they're looking good on that score. YAKA able to convert, giving themselves a few short field opportunities there, a couple turnovers, and opportunities to go the other way. But in the end, their defense has been tight. They find ways to get it back that time there via a drop, but pick it up and playing the short field options is not a bad way to kind of get into rhythm in this first game of Tom's, knowing that you might see a bit more of this weather over the course of the weekend.
And speaking of the weather, it's quite slippery. It's quite, soft underfoot. And that massive pivot with Camille Larivière. Guess what kind of cleats she was wearing, Stefan?
Tokai.
Tokai indeed.
Yes, the Tokai flights. Wonderful boots. Get them on your feet. They are, doing a whole bunch of good for Ultimate. They're also the name behind the super team, Tokai Super Team. And if you haven't heard about them, you must be living under a rock. So get on to Instagram and check out the Tokai Super Team so you can see that roster revealed one player by one. I know there's one on this field who is on that roster.
Oh, but they haven't been publicly named yet, so you'll have to keep that one in your pocket, Stefan. But in the pocket right now are Smog, looking to try and get away from their own end zone line. Lara Murray is going to be and back again, and maybe back again. But Castillo well defended by Lim. Now. Oh, Oh, that's a beautiful throw into the space, and it's going to end it. YAKA 12-4 over Smog. With who else with that beautiful sinking soft flick score? Fowler bus.
Wubba lubba dub dub. That one's on the board. Put a dub up for YAKA as they put away Smog. A great game, top to bottom, for YAKA to open up this game, missing a lot of their Talus figures in this game with a different looking roster. But great work by the veterans to steer the ship. Great integration of the youth, and great win early days for La Maison Rouge, YAKA from Noisy-le-Sec.
And just in time as well, because the wind has absolutely just ripped through the fields as we enjoy the replay of YAKA celebrating their first win here at Tom's Tourney 2024. Unlikely to see these teams in the final, I think. We've got a lot of national team action here in the women's division, but we'll be bringing you the first Open Division 1 game of our live stream coverage up next, so do not go anywhere, folks. The YouTube sets to autoplay the next live stream, so you can stick with us all day. For myself, Hannah Pendlebury and Stefan Rapat, so thank you for joining us for this match. We'll see you for the next one.
Thank you. Thanks.
Merci beaucoup. Yeah, ultimate.
ULTI.TV.